Welcome back to Egypt Old Kingdom. 10,000 people. It's been a while since we've been able to play this, so I just sort of want to dive back in, set the stage a bit before we proceed. We are working on the Copper of the Sinai quest, but before we do that, we have to assimilate the Lion people. And then we have the First Dynasty tombs. We've completed 5, so we have 3 more of those to go. Progress is ongoing. Of course, we have all of our exploration items happening, wells coming here, various expeditions. I do want to eventually cancel some of these expeditions. I'm not going to keep all of them going indefinitely because I want to have a bigger food surplus than what we currently have. But we're also working down here into taking over the Nubian area eventually. We're attacking this region in 3 turns. And we have a raid coming from the Fly people over here. Then down in Memphis, so the initial settling area proper. Working on this oryx here, and we are working on this hippo here. Almost done with those. I'd like to get into these antelopes, some of the other animals. I mean, low attitude towards us, but the wildfowl would also be good to have eventually. There's only so much that we can do at once. And looking at our favor here, we're plus 23 a turn, and with the recent reductions, we're down to 22 right now for our cult. So we basically want to hammer the Osiris button and use up some of that favor cheaply and really boost our bonuses. I think I am also going to invest 1 masterpiece here to boost our luxuries as well. Okay, the Lion people have joined us. Excellent. So that's our next step. And then we will have a very lucrative, over 8 per turn advance. We're going to get tons of resources out of this area now. Swamp drain down here. And this has a very nice luxuries expedition, so we're going to knock that out. It does lower down our food, but we can clear out some of the other expeditions we're doing eventually. Hippos. We could domesticate you, and let's do that so you don't move away. And then we're going to clear out this swamp, and eventually this will be a nice productive area for us. And I think we want to grab this extra worker. So what are we going to do with you? How is our exploring going up here? We've got 1 worker here. 1 worker here. 2 exploring I think is enough. We're battling down here. Let's go ahead and make sure we hit Osiris. And I also want to hit the Bulwark of Nath here, so that both of those upcoming battles have a benefit to us. Otherwise, this one would be fairly close, and I'd rather not take that risk. Okay, we could work on this some, but that's not, again, it's not a great area. I think I'm just going to put you down into Memphis itself and start working on antelopes. We're going to want them eventually. So let's try to keep developing our territory. And the raiding party, we have an 84% chance. I like our odds. Well, glad I boosted it if they're going to flank us early on. Good grief. Yeah, we lost half as many as they did. That was not a favorable outcome. And this is interesting. Population more than 1 million in the year 2912 BC. That's one heck of an accomplishment. Of course, that's all of Egypt, all of the regions that we are controlling combined. But gods and humans live in accord. With nourishment from us, the gods allow the Egyptian nation to grow further. Our blessed land now houses a population of unprecedented size. And we have a new trial coming. Makes sense. The 4th out of 8 trials coming about the midpoint. And we did finish this expedition. With some of the other ones we have going on, I'm going to save the food and have you just work in that area. Now, I do have some technologies available. But in this particular case, we've got the Nylometer and the Sacred Barks. Those are the cheap alternatives. And then if we slide up here, glass, We've got the Royal Statuary, more luxuries. Stonework, gardens. I think between combination of benefit and cost, I'm going to stick with the statuary. I want to save up a bit more to get that. And let's see how this battle goes for us. This would have been a lot more hazardous if we got flanked. So far, that has not happened. Yeah, we took actually fewer casualties there. More exploration. More generosity bonuses. Now, I think we are going to want to clear out the marshes here. That will really help us. Don't know if I can spare the people to do it now, though. I do want to keep acquiring. So I want to move on and attack here. And that'll come the turn after the Bulwark of Nath wears off. So we'll have to see if we actually want to put that back on. I may want to do that. Of course, they are up to friendly, but not friendly enough. It would take too long, in my opinion, to just get them on our side diplomatically. Now, the cat people here, they are not feeling too good about us. Nice luxuries expedition, but we can't really take advantage of it. And the military option, it's not one. So we're just going to keep moving down and exploring. We could colonize this area, but we are gaining more population capacity from the Nubian area, so I don't think I really need to do that. Let's just keep exploring there as well. And I think I'm going to hold with that. Very tiny bit short of what we need to get our next technology. And a new tomb is completed. Can also domesticate the oryx. Okay, all kinds of things going on. Let's get rid of that ancestral duty. The Tomb of Ajib. So, an amazing construction created in Tomb of King Ajib in Saqqara. And the description here, I wasn't really able to visualize it much. I did find one picture conception of what the Tomb of Ajib looks like, but it wasn't copyright free, so I've got the link to that in the description below instead of putting it in the video. Having said that, basically what it is it's sort of a stepped approach opposed to the rectangular mastabas. Sort of a precursor, possibly, to a pyramid structure. And the interesting thing about that is there aren't a lot of other structures like that we found around this time, none that I know of. So was it something they tried and then abandoned and went back to working on later? Or is it something that there were other examples of it, but they've been destroyed or lost to time, or we just haven't discovered them yet? The other thing is, King Ajib was not particularly noteworthy. Ruled for a fairly short time, about 8 to 10 years. So why was his tomb given that treatment? I don't know. Okay, so this is our most recent completed expedition, and it's one of the wimpier ones, so with the better ones we have going, I will knock that out, and then get the food bonus. And then we have an extra worker here, because, I mean, we could get those extra luxuries if we really needed them. I think I can probably use it for other items right now. We're not in luxuries emergency anymore. And then Buto, I'm going to want to keep that one going. Okay, let's do our next advance. We are going to hit the Royal Statuary, which is pretty much what it sounds like. Statues of kings played an active role in their cults, placed in temples and shrines in various parts of the country, and statues themselves worshipped could serve as king's double and a vessel for his life force, plus 2 luxuries per turn. So once again, we're seeing that there's the two facets. There's the actual practical, construction that they're learning, honoring their leader, but also tied up into the religion. So 2 more tombs to go. Let's check out the oryx. Let's domesticate them. And I did a pasture last time, so I'll do a cemetery this time. And then we have this one more worker left to us. And I'm wondering, I think now is the time to clear this out. Let's just go and get that done. See how much benefit we can get from that Doom Palm area. Well, that's not good. Swamp has been cleared here. You're domesticated, so let's work. Since this is a clay area, we're going to actually build a flax field. So we'll have some food, but also some favor, some production. It'll be kind of a solid all-around area. The wet period is over. Climate cannot always be good. Wells are dug here, and this is another nice expedition area. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that. But that puts us -7. We really need to make some adjustments to our food situation. Worship Osiris again. So what I'm going to do right now is just yank everybody out of our workshops. Just have them produce food. You can go down here. That's better. That's still not good. I think I definitely need to go with food increase for my next research. Let's see. I mean, maybe I don't even want you doing this. It's +3 per turn. But do we really need the luxuries as compared to the food right now? Probably not. I'm going to turn that one off. I think I need to be really careful on the food at this particular moment in time. Okay. And our cemetery is up. That'll hurt our food even more, but oh my goodness. Drought's getting worse. Okay. We definitely have ourselves a situation. So, we're going to hit Osiris again. And we're definitely also going to grab now the Nylometer Prediction of the height of Nile inundation. And basically what this is a rudimentary, large-scale ruler or measuring stick. Upper reaches of the Nile, stone steps and scales, known as Nylometers, were built. Flood level data quickly transferred downstream. And as the knowledge of many years accumulated, they made a forecast to plan for irrigation work. So they had an actual measurement, not just a guess, but numbers to go with it, how high they would expect the river to flood. And you know what? I think I'm going to... do I want to... This would be +1 food every turn, but I don't think we have a long-term problem. We just have sort of a short-term issue that we want to deal with. But I think we've reached the point with our upkeep. As you can see, 20 from the maintenance of tombs. I want to start utilizing now Seeker to reduce that upkeep. And that's just going to be a once every 6 turns thing that I've got to throw out there, but that'll help our food some. Doesn't solve the problem, but it does improve the situation quite a bit. And then, are we... Yeah, we're 2 turns yet down there. Okay. And the royal crisis has begun. Drought did not abate. People start to question the benevolence of the great Horus. Officials fruitlessly try to assist the king, while unrest rises among all social groups. Well, none of that is good. Have the kings lost their immense power? Are they really even gods? A new trial has started. Yay. Okay, let's take a look at the background of this first. And they want you to collect a large and balanced amount of resources, food, luxuries, and favor. Try not to concentrate on any single way of asserting authority, but use the advantages of your city patron to make your task easier by spending luxuries. So, we have a big problem. What are we going to do? We're going to throw money at it. Royal authority started to diminish during the middle of the First Dynasty. Royal tombs became smaller and more modest, and archaeological evidence for great disasters is abundant. They look for supernatural answer, and kings, as the ones responsible for the entire universe, had to be creative to solve the crises of their time. So that's sort of the drawback, and we see this in China a lot as well, along many other ancient cultures, to, the king asserting godlike authority and power and significance. If you claim to be divine, then people are going to expect divine levels of actual solutions. You can't just say, well, there's nothing we can do about it. Stuff happens, the cycle of nature. If you're divine, you need to fix this stuff. So we're searching for a solution to the crisis. Seth is raging, must restore the natural order, and restore royal authority to 75%. 16% now. A negative event chance of 20% every turn. So we do not want this to pass. We want to solve it immediately. We're also going to lose 8% of our food every turn until we solve it. So this needs to happen now. So we have the options of reform, boost royal authority, but cost favor. We have sacrifice, and that's going to boost royal authority, but cost production. And each of these boosts royal authority by about the same amount. And then beseech Ptah lowers those costs. So the idea is you use this first. And I find it useful to throw about half a dozen of these in it. And I'm going to even go like this. And then we will throw another one. I'm going to even do it one more. There we go. And now I'm going to switch on these. Just alternate. And we've reduced the cost significantly, so now we just need to progress forward. I'll do one more here. And then the rest on the production, because we have plenty of production. And we win. Trial completed successfully. 4 for 4 on gold victories. The kings failed to stop the drought, but remained powerful and wield great authority. People realize in order to help Seth, they just have to work harder and help Horus. Yeah, about that. In spite of many adversities, the First Dynasty did manage to stay in power. Royal authority was only completely restored by the end of the Second Dynasty. And as the drought retreated, they began to build colossal constructions once again. Okay. So the Bulwark of Nath is gone. Let's take a look at some of these other items. We have the Flax Fields. And that is all set up for us now. We've got some new territory. Here, this is worth investigating. What do we have? Okay, this is for the boosting of the army. Marshes. And they don't like us. And this would be, our army is not quite up to the task of that yet. Let's just keep on exploring some more. And then we also explored this area. Another area of the cat people. Another good luxuries expedition that we're not going to take advantage of yet. Osiris again. And then our battle down here. That's a little bit too close for comfort, in my opinion. I think it's worth, given the amount that we have. Let's hit Nath one more time. I should be able to do one more battle after this as well if I want to. Okay. So I think we're set. Close on food, but we've got it back in the positive, and that's what matters. Well, we did. Conquering the Cobra people. Let's do this. Other than that one early flanking that we had, we're doing pretty well here. Excellent. Okay, and the Tomb of Semerket. Now, Semerket used to be a fairly controversial ruler. There was one point at which they thought actually wasn't the rightful heir and was a usurper, but that's pretty much been discredited now. Another king with a short reign, 10 years, and they think that there were some significant natural disaster issues during his reign, so a short and not particularly impressive period of time for Egypt under him. I am going to knock this out. We do have plenty, again, of more production coming in. I just want to gradually wean off of any of the expeditions that aren't super lucrative at this stage. And, okay, we did succeed down here. But we're not going to get a lot from it. I think we just sort of want to hang on to that region. Let's move up to this one. We should get some more production out of this the next turn. And you... Yeah, we don't have a lot in terms of luxuries. It'd be nice to build those back up some. We do still have enough production, though, to bootstrap it. So I am going to assimilate here. We're kind of stretching the economy thin again, but I think it's worth it. I'm probably going to back off Osiris a bit now for a while. But I wanted to boost that as high as I reasonably could. Swamp has been drained. Where is that? Okay. So, 2 food. Yeah, this is a nice collection. And then that's not an expedition worth doing at the moment. Certainly not with our food in the trouble that it is in. I think I will hop in here. And let's take a look at glass. Natural glass, extremely valuable. And the Egyptians mastered artificial glass production techniques. So you see yet another element of construction and art that the Egyptians were really among the more advanced cultures in the world for. White sand mixed with cinder and metal oxides, heated in special kilns. Was not transparent at first. Again, it's like all new things that are invented. It was a process of perfecting it and improving it over time. But beads, amulets, various types of odds and ends that were made out of the glass. We'll hold here. This is a little tight. I'll grab one more. But we're doing okay. Another expedition successful. And this is one we're going to keep going on. Let's hold off on Osiris. Alright, more explorations. And one of them boosts our collection bonus. And one of them fails completely. Okay. But the bonus was boosted here. So at least that's something. You were explored. And let's just keep moving the explorations down. Here, we could colonize this area, and it looks like a good one to colonize. Oh, yeah. Favor? Okay, we're doing that. We're colonizing you. Upper Nubia. More exploration completed. We're going to wait one more turn for that. And then I think I also want to just grab the low-hanging one here and then go up to the higher expense ones. So the Sacred Barks. Barks play an important role in the everyday lives of Egyptians and their cosmology. Celestial gods cross the sky in their solar barks. Believe that after his death, the king would commence his final journey in a bark buried next to his tomb. So we get the plus favor there. And the next little step towards more and more elaborate funerary rituals. And this is about to expire. but luxury is looking much better now. Food is slowly going upwards. I'd like it if it was faster. But I think all of our current expeditions are ones that I really want to hang on to, probably. And we have completed now all of the tombs of the First Dynasty. We get a plus 80 to our favor. Excellent. Gods are pleased and grant their benevolence. And the final one here, we'll get to the favor of Seeker in a moment, but the Tomb of Ka. Now, interesting figure, ruled much longer than the previous kings before him. I think at least 30 years, possibly longer. But after he is gone, there was some sort of crisis of succession. Now, it could have been the fact that there was simply no male heir, or it could have been a situation where there was, enough turmoil between people and they were sick of the kings not being able to handle the drought or other natural disasters. So I'm not sure what it was, but there was effectively a war within Egypt between various royal houses, and what comes out of that eventually is the Second Dynasty. So the First Dynasty is over in terms of the tombs here, but we still have 11 years left in it to proceed, or 11 turns rather. More like about 50 years. But I think that makes a decent leaving off point for this particular episode. We're doing alright. We're progressing forward. And we've got some time to try to firm up everything before the Second Dynasty begins. It'd be nice if the arid period would go away. But for now, we're just kind of stuck with it and the slow growth. So the tale of ancient Egypt will continue soon. Till then, thanks for watching, everyone.